I think that, I mean, should you get married before you have a kid? Yes. But it's like, as far as Nelly and Ashanti, I don't know. We don't know them, but we never seen anything crazy regarding them in the media, right? So with Crystal's point with the two people, like if you find someone that's a good, I don't, a good mate, you think he's a good man, he got good values, like he's not acting crazy, and y'all just didn't get married, and you're like, I want to have a kid. What, Ashanti's what, in her 40s, I'm assuming, right? Like,
22.
okay, I think the character of the man is probably the most important thing versus just marrying somebody to have a kid. So I don't know. I think that's where, if it gets down to it, should you be married or should you find someone with good character? I mean, you should have both, but it seems like people are not doing that. So
Well, that's what I asked Crystal. That's why I said I disagree because I think that a marriage, although that is before God and all that, we have gotten a long way from traditional values, and I think people can always walk away from a marriage at the end of the day, especially if there's no kids involved. Having kids, married or not, I mean, you can't walk away. So that's always greater than to me.
Well, the thing about it is,
oh, greater than
for
like that. I see what you're saying. I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean, I think that is just kind of it's risky. It's super risky not to get married for regular people.
Risky on whose part, Crystal?
On the woman's part,
Mhm.
to carry a child with a man. If you're not like a millionaire or mid six figures, that it's not even a question if you should be married before you have a baby in this day and age. I mean, like it's not even a question. Like I actually get
Happily
really,
married though, like a family, not just sign like, because I think the worst thing man or woman can do is have children outside of a happy family.
Hmm.
All of us, it's foolish.
I don't know,
Agreed.
Gavin. What do you say to those women who, it's a trend now for women who are in their 40s, or like late mid, like late 30s to, what do they call it? Like not IVS. What do you call it when you get like a surrogate? Like they haven't found a man. Like they haven't found a man, but they want to
Yes,
experience
uh,
motherhood, and so they find a donor.
they haven't found the
See,
man. They
there we go.
haven't found that top 1% man that they think that they deserve. We can't just say they haven't found the man.
It
No,
experience. I like what you said, Crystal. They want to experience motherhood, and
Mhm.
I gotta ask, at what cost? Experience motherhood at what cost to the healthy upbringing of the child? It almost sounds just selfish when we say it like that. Like, I just want to experience motherhood. I'm getting old. I ain't about to get married, but I really want to experience motherhood. And I'm just gonna make that happen. And that sounds a bit selfish, regardless of the income level. What you think?
It- it's extremely selfish. That's exactly what it is, because if it takes two people to make a child, then you know that you should have a father there in his life. And if you're going to raise them without one, like, that thought shouldn't be in the mind. But if it is, then you're only doing it for your own benefit. Like, there's no way that you could think that not having a father around is going to be good for the child. It's just not. So for me, it never crossed my mind. If I'm having a kid, I'm going to be married and I'm going to have a husband. Like, the father's going to be there. I'm going to find the best man that I can find, and then we're going to have a kid, because I want my kid to have the best possible outcome, the best possible, if I can help it. So I don't know. It's incredibly selfish. You're correct.
Yeah, I think the issue where a lot of women fall when they get older, they feel like Lamb, they can pick the perfect scenario like you and still get divorced, or they break up and then now they're still a single parent again. So they feel like I agree with I think that it is selfish to have I can't stand it when I hear women say, I want to feel the love. I want to feel loved. I've never experienced love, so I want to have a baby and feel love. That's what
Yeah.
triggers the hell out of me. Don't
Hmm.
put that responsibility on a baby because you have never been loved by another human being. That's selfish.
Hmm.
Now, experiencing motherhood and leaving a legacy behind and things like that, I've never been in that situation where I felt like, I just really want to be a mother so bad without a family. But I don't know, some women feel like that. They just feel like I'm rich. My uncle, my brothers are around. They're going to play a role in his life as the masculine. I'll put him in sports and give them a great life. Even we had that discussion. Remember, we were talking about how back in the day, you would see a single mother raise an excellent man, go on to join the military or do whatever. And now, because women are so ratchet, we don't see that as much. But what do y'all say to that? I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying, like, what do y'all think about back in the day when we would see, single mothers raising amazing men?
So
Is it possible?
is it possible? Yes. Yes, possible, but is it probable?
This day and age, me personally, I don't think so. I ain't doing it. I'm just posing that other side that I see a lot of women say that.
I think okay, yeah, I agree with you, Crystal. Back in the day when there wasn't so much social media and there was it's a lot of factors, if you ask me.
And single moms is kind of a new thing. Like, I don't want that to go over our heads. These women nowadays there's no man. I don't think there's ever been women like this in the history of mankind that just didn't have men. Like back in the day, even if it wasn't the kid's father, these women had men in the house. These women nowadays, they just hunching. The men ain't taking care of, ain't no stepdaddies, none of that.
So yeah, that time is come and gone. Yeah, and I agree.
And to me, it just seems it's just dangerous. It's like if it was me, again, I just have to put myself in this place. If I had a child, I would feel unsafe if I was trying to care for another being and I didn't have the protection of someone else other besides me. I'm a female. Like, I know I'm not stronger than any man. Like, I would feel like I would need someone else just for my own sake, but for my child. Like, that just seems, as far as survival goes, I would be like, I need a man here for our own survival. Like, I don't know if that makes me sound weak. I don't know, but like, I just don't get it. And it seems difficult. Like,
if you was Bonquisha, if that was your inner Bonquisha trying to come out, Bonquisha would never say that because it would make her weak, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And it just seems
lamb cap.
It seems difficult. What's cap? I'm
messing with Gavin.
Yeah, ain't weakness. Listen here. And there you go. I love the point that Lamb just made. I don't know if that comes across as weak. And that's the biggest problem with today's open sexual marketplace is that vulnerability and being genuine comes off as being weak. And that's sad. But
I think it's two different things, Mr. Walker. Like, vulnerability is strength. That was vulnerable for Lamb to say that. Some might argue that their opinion is that is weak. When they give their opinion, they might say that's weak. As a woman, you are mother first. You can always be there for your child. But from Lamb's point of view, that's not the case, and you have to respect that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think
because that kind of what do we say? Not intimacy, but vulnerability. That kind of vulnerability towards your man. That kind of saying that to your man, say, hey, I need you. I can't do this without you. Those kind of words and conversation backs a good man into a corner of accountability where he must stand on his square. So that vulnerability is power. You don't want to throw those words of empowerment to Nug because he's just gonna use and abuse you.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, yeah, you said it to the wrong man. It's actually not just Nug, Mr. Walker, too. I think certain high level narcissists will do that too. If you tell them, like, which to me is problematic sometimes, is the nug. And we are building a more narcissistic society. People hate that word, but social media, attention, money. Nobody is being honest and wanting real relationships anymore for love. So we are building a society of narcissists, male and female. And I think that's when it can be a problem. Lamb just has to make sure she finds a man who really adores her. So when she says things, which she already has, so when she says things like that, he looks at it like Mr. Walker and Gavin did, of, man, it makes me accountable. I appreciate you being vulnerable and honest with me. I think a lot of women struggle with that, Lamb, but that just shows your level of femininity, which is great.
The term narcissist, that was a raging keyword all 2023. Now I got a question. After observing all that we have observed, and I'm pretty sure y'all know where I'm putting my head on this, who has proven to be the biggest narcissist of 2023? How you feel? Is it men or women?
I'm just gonna say this. if someone cannot look into themselves and point out any flaws, I think that's a key thing of a narcissist. I'm sorry. If you can't just
Yeah.
willingly admit it, then who's the advocate for that? It's the women, I think.
Hey,
Ain't nothing wrong with me.
there you go. I'll leave it there. I ain't gotta say nothing else.